Wow, Sam, I am excited for this last one. The, I will say, annual absolute state of Shonen Jump presentation by none other than yourself.
That's right. So this is something you have to look forward to at the start of every new year. Will be my weekly Shonen Jump State of the Union address. Powered by the 100% Authentic Manga Podcast.
Yes.
Because as someone who reads as much Shonen Jump as me, you get you grow opinions about the series that you write, but also their place in the magazine. So kind of what I wanted to do is I made a little presentation for everyone, and in fact, here we're going to I'm going to share it so we can all actually see this time. You can see this, okay?
Oh, not only can I see it, I can't even believe how good it looks. I didn't even. This is a complete surprise to me. So, is it fair to be like, this is kind of like those books in stores, like the unofficial guide to Pokemon, or whatever. Like, this is the unofficial, or is it the unofficial guide to Shonen Jump?
This is the unofficial guide for Shonen Jump in early 2026. Without further ado, in order to get into it proper, we gotta kind of start with what kind of came before. So I wanted to pay a little credit to the ended series in 2025. Specifically, this is for the veteran series that actually got to wrap up their narrative. They went for about 2 years or more, and they got a chance to actually wrap up their narrative. So Mission Yozakura Family, that was a holdover from like 2014. Finally wrapped up and ended. Kill Blue, which is from Tadayoshi Fujimaki, who made Kuroko no Basket, which is like one of my favorite mangas ever. This was about a hitman who's like a 39-year-old who becomes like a middle schooler. I read the first like 20 chapters of it, and I wasn't super crazy about it. If it was still running, it would be on the list to catch up, but I held off, and I probably will not read this one. And then Undead Unluck, I actually do want to go back and read. I read the first 75 chapters. I thought it was awesome. The power system's cool. The characters are pretty interesting. And people seem to be into the ending for it. Like, people seem to be pretty happy with how it ended. So, do you have any opinion or any thoughts on like any of these 2025 series? Kill Blue's getting an anime, and Mission Yozakura and Undead Unluck, I think they both have a season or two.
So this is, you said 2014 for one of these?
For a Mission Yozakura Family. So, 20. So
it was running 12 years?
It's been a no, I'm sorry. It started in 2019. I apologize. I had my years shifted. I thought it was it was 6 years old. It was a hangover from, it was the last hangover that wasn't One Piece from the 20, One Piece started in the 90s, but we currently have no series that started in the 2010s. That was
the last one.
That was the last holdout from the 2010s.
Goes to show how much I know about manga on our manga show. I've never even heard of this, and though it's like been running for so long. So this is kind of like head coaches in the NFL. There's no one left. They just get fired.
No, and not only that, I think too it never really got super popular here. Like the Mission Yozakura Family, like it never really had like a big like American audience, at least from what I could tell online. But anyways, so these are the 2025 series that actually got to kind of end relatively on their own terms. Now we have the 2025 canceled series. So this is basically how I defined this. These are the series that are like less than 2 years old, that were carryovers from 2024 that ended up getting the axe. So we had Ken Wakui's Astro Royale. I did not really like it. I read the first few chapters of it. I thought it kind of sucked. I like Tokyo Revengers. I like the first like 100 something chapters of it. I thought it was quite good. I never finished it. I never read to the end, which I know is where most people had problems with it. They gave him like 45 chapters. It didn't fucking pay off. Sid Craft is the follow-up to We Never Learn by that author, and just didn't like it's like a detective romance story, but they don't really do too much with the detective stuff after like the first couple of chapters. And I didn't end up I fell off it. Haku Taku was this gaming manga that started in like the late, like super late 2024. And Tom, this shit was ass. You can't. I guess you can't make game development into a compelling shonen jump. Um, Gaming is too complicated. The process is too long and complicated to make it a unique, worthwhile series to do a manga about. But the real I really wanted to have this section just because I can talk about how horrible it is that
Is
they
that
canceled.
is that an Xbox controller that Hakutaku is holding?
Yes,
That's
that
how
she's
you
holding.
know. That's how you
Yeah.
know it wasn't gonna last. Anyway, what were you saying?
I really had this screen just so we could talk about fucking Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo, because this one, I think in an earlier segment we were talking about cancellations that hurt. This was a rough one for me. When I woke up and I read that chapter was going to be the last chapter and that we were done, I was like, this is very disappointing. But just because with the Chojin Chojo Senpai, gag series are hard to fucking do, and this was a solid one. And they like announced that the author won some fucking award for the series like 2 or 3 weeks after it got canceled, and they're also doing an anime also after the series got fucking canceled. So it's like, why did you do this? I have no idea why you canceled it. We got a good thing with this series. They
It's very
canceled it
funny.
for Nice Prison, which we'll get to.
I'm looking at these four, and I don't know anything about them. And yeah, that one stands out. It's already the most appealing just on its face to me. So I'm with you. I'm automatically with you. I've now taken your opinion and downloaded it. It's mine now, as it should be.
Yeah, it's a good, like, it's a great little fun week to week chapter. Again, it's just a gag series, but it's a gag series where you just have the town's ever slowly growing cast of returning and constantly recurring characters. And you really do get a you love Shinjuku, man. That's the town they help police. And you get a good kick out of good kick out of all the characters there. I'm a big fan of Policeman JoJo. A part of me copes and thinks that if the anime does well, to bring it back, even though I know it won't be true. And then we have 2025 flops. So Tom, these are the series that actually started and ended
Okay.
in 2025.
I see one familiar face.
Yeah, so you'll see. So fans of the channel will see Ping Pong Pair all the way at the bottom. But that was the most so these are actually in order of when they came out. So at the start of the year, we had Embers. This was a soccer series. We had a huge amount of attempts at trying to do. They really want a sports series, like really bad, to take off. We have one that we'll talk about in a bit, but Embers was going to be like about soccer. Basically, it was about the main character, the blonde guy. He was like kind of just like this delinquent that his one of his like homeroom teachers got him into soccer instead of beating the shit out of people. And it's just it was okay. The art was nice, like the art was pretty sweet, but the characters just weren't that really engaging, unfortunately. And then Star of Beethoven is a cracked fucking series where basically a guy in Japan who also just knows how to speak fluent German ends up coming across a guy who claims to be Beethoven, Ludwig von Beethoven, at like a convenience store. And he basically he used to be a piano prodigy, but he gave it up. But then he finds this Beethoven guy, and he's like, maybe you really are the real Beethoven.
He does look like a zombie in the cover.
Yeah.
It looks like the green hue of the skin.
And I'll say this series, everything that's not Beethoven kind of blows. There are some scenes where they'll say like, oh, we're going to be playing this song from Beethoven, and my ass will be queuing that shit up. Pro iPad, you go on YouTube, you queue up the music, and then you go read the scene where they play
Wow, that
You know,
is
Fifth
you're
Symphony.
you're immersed. That's an immersive strategy. You're a real one.
Yeah, I read about half.
And
I
for
read about half
this.
of it. I read about half of it. There's a great shot where it says Chicago, Illinois, and and it shows like a very like a picture of like fucking Chicago, Illinois, and it is very cool to see Chicago appear in a fucking manga. Um, that's all I have to say about Starbait though.
Okay.
Nice Prison is part of the reason why SPPC got canceled. Um, it basically was just going to be it's a new gag series. It was going to take place in prison with a supermodel prisoner. I read the first chapter. I didn't think it was very funny, and nobody seemed to like it. Odor of Flame literally ended today, as of when we were recording this. Its last chapter was, so this was a recent edition. This is from this is the second attempt at a series from a mangaka. The first series that he did was the Hunter's Red Guild, which people are really big on. It's got like a big Western fan base. This guy just I don't really know. I didn't really like the first chapter. Kind of sucked. Kaya Dagami, I read the first volume and trying to catch up. It basically it does the JJK thing sort of where it's like, oh, we got the, or like the Chainsaw Man. Dude, Denji ruined a whole generation of fucking shonen protagonists because we got this whole ass fucking crew now where they gotta like we gotta have this uneasy alliance or partnership with like a villain or anti-hero type character. And basically that's kind of what this is. He teams up with this like spirit and we're trying to get her body back and he's gonna help her do that. It kind of blew. Akaiden Bros, the art is probably some of the worst art I've seen in a
to
jump
make
series.
it to jump, yeah, to make it right.
It's a very it's about running boys. The art's not cute enough to get the high Q sauce, which is really important if you're gonna do like a cute boys like sports thing.
You know what's
and
funny?
it's not yeah.
I'm getting a feeling this. You can cut this out if you want.
No, please.
The Shonen Jump cast feels like SNL, like the way you follow and like they have like their pros and cons and like oh these guys suck. Oh, this is the new wave. There's something about the gamification of the roster that I think you're revealing to me that I think is probably the enjoyable part about this is like the voting off, the getting off the island, the survivor aspect to it.
Yes. So now that we basically went over and paid some credence to basically everything that ended in 2025, that got axed in 2025, or that was just a new thing that just did not happen. Now we'll actually do literally exactly what you said. Take a look at the actual current 19 series and actually see what their place in the magazine is, according to me. So first we have One Piece and its wings.
Okay.
Tom, since 2024, Shonen Jump has been in a desperate attempt to get the new big hit series. And by new big hit series, I specifically mean they need the My Hero and the JJK replacement in the magazine.
The big three. They need a big three.
They do need some kind, not quite a necessarily a big three, but how they've positioned these series, specifically Kagurabachi and then Ichi the Witch, both in like group color panels, where it's for the combined issues. We had a couple of combined issues recently, where of course Luffy's in the center, and then who's on the left and right? Chihiro and Ichi. So that's part of it. Also part of it too is that these two series, for being manga only, not having any anime adaptation or anything like that, the popularity of the series is just well and beyond what all the other newer series or similar chaptered series are doing right now. Like Kagurabachi sells like 6-digit like volume figures, which is not like normal for shit without like an anime. So and then Ichi just has a lot of sauce and a lot of X factors that have gotten a lot of people into it. And I think similarly, when that gets adapted, that anime is going to be fucking massive. It's going to have a lot. So
get in early, right?
Get in early, yeah. And basically, I can tell you right now, when Kagurabachi gets its anime, it'll be generational. When Ichi the Witch gets its anime, it's going to be extremely fucking successful. and it will propel both these series to like the JJK My Hero Academia heights. And then of course One Piece is going to keep being One Piece. That's going to be a staple of the magazine. People are always acting like they put like this like weird time limit where they're like, yeah, there's only going to be like 5 more years of One Piece. However long you think One Piece is going to last, tell me how many chapters you think are left, and then divide that by 33, and then that's how many years we have left. Because that's how many chapters Oda will give you in a year. It's about 33.
Yeah. It's like the LeBron James career of LeBron James or Tom Brady. It just will not end.
Any what do you have to say about the wings, the current wings of One Piece?
Well, it's so funny. Like it just, I'm so glad we're doing this show because I've been off the app for a long time and I'm over that. I need to get back on it. And like it's just these covers all hit different like than the ones you just showed me. Like you can just tell who are hitting their stride, what series have this like identity and a confidence and a bravado that like like we have the it factor, star power. Like I'm looking at Ichi the Witch, I'm looking at Kagurabachi, like those covers. Like I want to read it. I want to read it. It's like it's just there's something kind of gut there. I want to be in early. I want to get in there before the anime too. It's a fun thing to do, I imagine. So
yeah, because when the beauty of being early to like one of these series and then you do get the anime and you get to watch it as like an adaptation, you get to appreciate all these like little fan service moments in the OP and any interesting promotional materials. If it's more deeper cut shit, you get to appreciate it. That's why I like being early. But yeah, so basically, yeah, at the tippy top of the pinnacle of power, we have One Piece and we have its 2 wings. Then we have veteran series. These are series that have been in the magazine for close to 3+ years. We have Me and Roboco, which is the second oldest series in the magazine, which is the primo gag series. We have Akane Banashi, which is our Rakugo battle shonen, extremely fucking good series. Witch Watch, which is a comedy gag like magic series with a bit more like serious storytelling thrown in and a bit more like longer form storytelling. Blue Box are romance / sports like hybrid series. Nue's Exorcist, which is kind of like a generic like harem battle series. Sakamoto Days, of course, your Hitman action series, and the Elusive Samurai, which is your historical action fiction. But this is ending within like 5-6 chapters. So one of these 7 veteran series will be done. But basically,
is it ending on its own terms?
Yes, it's ending on its own terms. Okay. And basically, if you're a veteran series of Shonen Jump, you are going to end on your own terms. You're an established part of the magazine. You are going to be here until the author is ready to wrap it up. Roboco will be here for if anything is going to make it to 500 chapters, it's going to be me and Roboco. I think Witch Watch has probably got maybe Witch Watch probably has possibly 2 years left. Akane Banashi definitely has at least 100 chapters left. I can't speak to Nue's Exorcist. That's one of the last ones I need to catch up on. Blue Box has maybe less than 50 chapters left, and same with Sakamoto Days.
And this is your just experience that you're clocking the story's wrapping up. You can sense
it.
Sakamoto
Days is in its final arc right now. Blue Box has only a few more things left to do. Witch Watch is in its final in its final saga right now. Elusive Samurai is like literally almost done. So, yeah, when we have this conversation next year, we'll have a much better idea of what's going to happen with the other, with those other 5 veteran series. But yeah, Elusive Samurai will not be with us next year, but it's an incredible, incredible fucking story. I honestly, I think I read the first 4 chapters of Nue's Exorcist. I thought it was fucking garbage when it started like 2.5 years ago. I gotta catch up for the sake of catching up on everything currently in the magazine. So that includes some bullshit sometimes, but what are you gonna do? And I stand by though. Like I stand by Elusive Samurai, me and Roboco Kanebanashi, which watch Blue Box Sakamoto Days is like totally worth fucking reading.
I like this. Yeah, this list is there's some heat here, and that's it's good to see because I've obviously heard a lot about a lot of these. I've read some Sakamoto Days too. Elusive Samurai is the assassination classroom mangaka,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. Matsui. And the this is his longest. This is his longest series so far, over 200 something chapters. Um, and yeah, I mean, probably most likely Blue Box. I don't think it will be over in 2025. Or excuse me, in 2026. I think early 2027 we'll know when it's at the end. So basically, these are all series that they're gonna. If you start them and it's still week to week, you're gonna feel confident that you're gonna see like the author's decided end for whatever the story is. And they're gonna end it on their terms. Hey, it's Editing Sam here. Are you enjoying the video? I sure hope so. Anyways, I'm about to talk about the new gen series, and in this section, I include a series that has been canceled. That's Harukaze Mound. It's got canceled. It's already out of date. I really wanted this to not be out of date, but it's out of date. So fuck me. And anyways, get back to the video for whether you like it or not. Then we have a new gen series. These are series that have been around for, with the exception of Harukaze Mound, which is the baseball manga on the end there. They have been around for a little over a year. They have established themselves in the magazine. However, things could always, things could always change or shake up. We have Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi, which is a really under fucking rated series. I think Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi is wonderful. If you like classic era One Piece designs and like powers and fights, this is your fucking shit. The author is a former assistant of Oda, which is part of the reason why it's gotten a lot of preferential treatment in the magazine. But I don't care, Tom. I don't care that it's gotten preferential treatment because it's good and it deserves to stick around. We need more series like this that are just like, that's your classic shonen battle series with a world and cast of characters that's just fun. When it gets an anime, people will be into it. Hematen, of course, we talked about that in my where I caught up on it. Great little classic style of harem romance, fits really well in the magazine right now. Shinobi Undercover has some of the best art going right now, just some of the best artwork week to week. And Yotaka, the main character, is really engaging. I really find him funny and a endearing character. And then they got a baseball manga, Harukaze Mound. Really into it. I'm really fucking into it. I like the art. I like the main core cast of characters. They're a good group of boys. They're good looking. They got the high Q factor. So we just got to get this. We got to get this series in front of women so it can stay in the magazine for a long time.
We gotta get it. Get
it. These are the new gens. So come next year, if of all these series that could not be here next year, Harukaze Mound has the biggest chance of still getting axed. I feel pretty good that all three of these will still be around next year.
And will these then next year move into the veteran spot?
Yes, most likely yes.
Got it.
They'll be moving into the veteran. But yeah, this is the new generation. Formerly Akane Banashi was in the new generation, but that's at 191 chapters. That's a fucking veteran series at this point. And then we got Rising Stars. So this is really dedicated to Someone Hurts, but I needed to find a place to put JJK Medulo. So JJK Medulo, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that's how it's fucking spelled. Tom, this is a short run series. It got announced and they said that this was going to be a 6-month only series. Reading it and being about 18 chapters in, yes, the way it's set up and the way the story is shaking out, yes, this shit is only going to be for 6 months. And then it's going to be over and we're going to be kind of done with like JJK spinoffs. What I wanted to point out, though, is Someone Hurts. Tom, Someone Hurts is an example of why Shonen Jump has why it does what it does, why it greenlights the ideas that it does, why it's fast and loose with the cancellation. Because a series like Someone Hurts, if I were to just explain it to you, two high schoolers every midnight on Monday listen to a late night radio program and submit like jokes. They submit like one off, like one liner, like zingers to like this radio program. If I like told you that was the plot of the series, you would not expect that that is the biggest winner and the biggest newest success story of 2025.
And that's in Japan because I imagine this is a hard one to translate because I bet a lot of one-liner singers are Japanese in nature.
So a lot of it, so the translations are actually okay. A lot of the references though are to stuff that you would only
Yeah.
know if you were a Japanese citizen or person. With that being said, though, a good bit of it is stuff that you're still able to follow, and the zingers are so quick that if you didn't get it, you're over it so fast. You're just continuing on with the story.
Is this about the relationship more?
It's
to
really and it's
anything?
really
Yeah,
about the
so.
relationship that Mizuo
Well,
and the other
I'm a
main
slice of
character.
life guy. I'm a comedy manga guy. This is definitely like intriguing me. The
I
premise to
recommend it,
me
dude.
is like
Honestly,
type of
this
premise I buy.
series, it's wholesome. I think we're gonna. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get it in English physically. They'll probably do it. It's the first volume sold out in Japan, and it's gotten numerous color pages. And in fact, the day we're recording this, which was issue 8 of Shonen Jump, it actually had the lead color page, which for an early on series is pretty big. After its first 2 chapters to get like a lead color page, pretty fucking big. So I wanted to give special attention to fucking Someone Hurts, but also JJK Medulla has been huge since it got in the magazine for good reasons. Fucking spin off of JJK. Then we have our U19 Club. These are our 3 new series that have started relatively recently that could potentially get axed or canceled. We have Gone Run Egg. This series is not good. I've read the first 6 or so chapters of it, Tom. It does not have the sauce. The action is not very good. The character writing is very lame. I don't find the egg or the main character very compelling whatsoever. The angel designs that they fight up against are pretty cool. And then the series on the right, Hero Girl and Demon Lord Call It Quits. I need to catch up on the first it's about a volume's worth of material right now. I read the first 3 chapters and I was not into it at all. It just feels like it's for a different magazine and not
Yeah, that's
really
what I
for
was gonna
Shonen
say.
Jump.
This is not the typical like you see this type of title and stuff a lot over the isekai, general way, but yeah, not in Shonen Jump very often.
And you get the sense when you read it that the one shot was good. But like I don't know about translating this idea to like a whole ass weekly series. As opposed to just a one shot that's like 50 70 pages. But the Mage Next Door, I'd say of these 3 is easily the best of the 3 series. Basically it's about Asoigawa, a mage from the magic world, who basically the way that the magic works in the series is if you're a wizard or a mage, your magic will like swell within you, and then you can channel that into any single ability that you want. For most wizards, that happens maybe like 2 to 3 times in their life. For Osoigawa, it's happened like dozens and dozens of times. But all his spells are like bullshit, like a spell that makes your alarm go off louder. And basically, it's spells to help with daily life, essentially. And he's tasked with using these spells to go track down evil mages that went to the human world. But he's kind of he's kind of a chill, lazy guy.
Aloof.
Yeah, a little aloof. But he's a really fun character. He's like lazy, but he's a good dude. The cast of characters he surrounds himself with is pretty funny. The series is a lighthearted read, but it establishes a power system for itself that it can transition itself to a more serious battle series if it needs to or wants to. But it also has the ability to just be a more chill, relaxing, kind of, light action comedy series, which I think the magazine is those are always welcome. I think in the series, Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi kind of falls in that camp too of it being a more comedic like action series, where this is more slice of life with a little bit of heavy action. But they can transition it if he wants to do more serious battle arcs. The author's going to be able to transition and do that. Of these 3 series, this is the one I would recommend reading the most. But they still could get canceled. I'm thinking Gone Run Egg is getting fucking axed. And I can't really speak to Hero Girl and Demon Lord. I got to read the rest of the first volume's worth. Any comments on any of these?
So under 19 chapters, is that what that means?
Yeah, under 19
okay.
chapters. Yeah, typically, if a series is most likely going to if it's going to get canceled, it's most likely going to happen before its first 20 chapters.
There's something very like hand drawn about Egg. Like it does look like it's a piece of paper stuck together, though. It's a very unique look.
It's yeah.
I don't know if it's good, but like it's very unique. But yeah, I don't have any comments.
Some of the art is unique for sure. Some of the art is unique for sure. It's just the storytelling is just not. It's just not very strong. And then finally, we're recording this on an interesting day because over the next 3 weeks, we are going to get 3 new series. I tried so hard to find images or promotional material for any of these series, couldn't find squat. So we have Under Doctor by Kyo Tani, should be Tani Mito, I'm pretty sure, that he is debuting with the series. We have Kaigeki no Kinato, which is by Kento Amemiya. He released a series called Shadow Eliminators that was in a U19 club. It got canceled before its first 20 chapters. It was not very good. So hopefully he does better with this one. And then we have Alien Headbutt, which of the 3 names definitely sounds the most interesting, but it's from another debut mangaka. We'll see if any of these shake out or any of them are good. You're going to get individual first chapter reviews probably on all 3 of these. And we'll give you our thoughts when they come out week after week. So that's basically what we have to look forward to for Weekly Shonen Jump so far for 2026. Based on that kind of overview, Tom, I'm curious, what's one series you're the most interested in wanting to check out?
Well, the obviously I am not caught up with One Piece, but I'm on volume 85 so that obviously I need to get back to. I would like by the end of the year to be keeping up weekly.
Perfect.
Even before that, but like that's where I'd like to be with One Piece. You've already convinced me on Kagurabashi in a prior video. Want that. The Ichi no Witch looks great too. Like so I'm interested in Akane Banashi has been on my radar for a while. So
you will love it. You will love Akane.
I think I will. So those 4, though, I definitely like Hema 10, and you've done a good job there. And that seems like a light read.
Yes.
My question to you, Sam, is you've been reading Jump, like all of Jump, for a while now.
Yeah.
How does 2025 and this slate here stack up to you versus prior years? Like, how are you? Like, was 2025 like, damn, we had a lot of. This is like one of the best years, or is it more just kind of a normal year for the magazine?
So I'd say so. You know, it's one of these things when you look at, you know, if when we go back, if we look at the series that got canceled this year, I mean, we had 9 new series that started and like ended in 2025. Plus we have the 3 current series. Probably maybe only one of them is gonna stick around. We only had 1 big hit in Someone Hurts as far as new series go, but I will say the veteran series, so like your Witch Watch, Blue Box, Elusive Samurai, the arcs that we went on in 2025, really, really good. I think there was a bit of stumbling with Sakamoto Days. I'd say there's about a 30, 35, 40 chapter period where it was kind of lost a little bit spiritually. It's gotten back. We've gotten back on track to wrap it up. And this has been one of the best. And 2025 was one of the best years for fucking One Piece. Too, which you'll understand soon enough when you catch up. So I'd say as far as like the current veteran series, some of the best shit. I think the new gen shit is really exciting. I think Shinobi Undercover is probably the most exciting of the new gen series. I think the new series that we have, I think Someone Hurts is great, and it's amazing to see a series like this have so much success. But also we don't have any like crazy smash hits. Unfortunately, like Jump's gotten unlucky. They've gotten unlucky in the sense that in the last like several years, the last 2 like extreme huge hits that they've kind of had magazine wise were Chainsaw Man, which took a extended hiatus and then came back on the digital platform, and then Ruri Dragon, which had a generational start And before its first volume, the author went on extended hiatus due to health issues for 2+ years, and then when it came back, it was serialized in the on the digital Jump Plus. So
Which means
that
it's
was
out of the
something.
magazine.
Yeah, it's out of the magazine. Yeah, so they kind of lost like the if we were to play, like if this was a roulette and like they hit a jackpot with Ruri Dragon, and then they lost that jackpot immediately, and then they had a jackpot with Chainsaw Man, and then that jackpot went to the digital platform. So that's why they just kind of need Kagurabachi and Ichi the Witch anime adaptations to happen, so it can get they can get that bigger audience push, which will really propel the manga even forward. But yeah, I mean, I in my opinion, I think Shueisha is still reeling from the ending of My Hero Academia and JJK like so soon, like back to back, like they were like months apart from each other. And yeah, those were like when you didn't have One Piece, you had JJK, you had My Hero, you had these major, huge, popular battle series to look forward to. And yeah, we're missing that. We're still missing that.
Okay, but it sounds like there's, just as a consumer like you and me, it gives the magazine maybe some breathing room for a series like Someone Hurts or a kind of Anashi, or these not action, shonen typical, to actually get an audience and some traction. That's kind of cool too. You're getting a very different flavor in your Shonen Jump, it sounds like. So
yeah, and I think I appreciate that they've been willing to greenlit weird ideas. And if it doesn't work out, like that's the thing, is if it doesn't work out, then it gets canceled. And you see a lot of criticism of them and their cancellation practices online. And I do think sometimes they totally dropped the ball. Like I think Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo is an example of that should not have been canceled. Like that straight up should not have been canceled with how it was selling comparative to other things in the magazine. The fact that it had an anime on the horizon, the fact that he was going to win an award for the series shortly after it got canceled, probably should have stuck around. But would a series like Someone Hurts make it into the magazine if it was still running, or if it was still in there taking up a slot? Again, there's only space for 20 series, but I think 2026 is going to be really interesting because similarly to 2025, we're going to get a lot of new series. We're going to get a lot of stuff being thrown at the wall because really Someone Hurts is going to be the only thing that's really meaningfully stuck. Harukaze Mound, again, it's in the mid 30s right now, chapter wise. That could stick around, or that could end up, getting to the 40s and 50s and then saying this just, we gave it a chance, and the audience that it's at, it's just not at the level it needs to be at. That's kind of what happens with the series that enter like the veteran status, is they consistently, their tankobon sales, their volume sales reach a certain threshold, volume over volume, that it's just worth being a consistent staple of the magazine, because you do need staples to get people coming back to pick up the full thing every week. As well as new series to get people interested and exciting and buying merchandise for other shit, But right now, I mean, if you look at big Shonen Jump series, like Demon Slayer is still fucking huge. That ended many moons ago. JJK is still huge with the anime. My Hero is in the process of or I think the anime did recently wrap up. So that shit was all going and stuff too. But yeah, I am excited for 2026. Let us know in the comments below what were some of your favorite Shonen Jump series from 2025. If you have any opinions on what you think could happen in the next
we'll be following it.
We'll be following
sure.
it. Expect new series alerts, expect in memoriams, expect discussing when stuff gets canceled and when I catch up on shit. So yeah, that's it. Happy reading.
Well, congrats, Sam. This was fantastic. Thank you very much for your presentation. I feel much better about the union now that I know.
Now you know exactly what's going on.